because it's not super, I can't do it. But you close that to keep the air, because it's so tight, the air tank doesn't fall off when you're swimming and stuff. Just leave it. It's not gonna. You're not gonna be.
All right.
But then you're gonna. Okay. So first.
No, with the rest of your
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
We'll do the whole thing.
Okay. This is your regulator. This is the part where all your hoses and stuff go.
What do you mean hose?
Like
Breathing air
stuff. So you open this, and on the tank there's this ring called an O-ring, and that's like keeps it an airtight seal so that no air can escape, even though sometimes it does. I don't want the other way.
Where's your... Greg, there's your...
No,
Oh,
this,
sorry.
see?
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
This is why he takes up classes to figure out how to do it.
So, after you get this on, and it's hard to squeeze, just do once. And you don't want to wrench it too hard because then it can break the O-ring. Then you place this through here. Well, I'm not going to do it right now. But you place it through here, and you'll stick it in there. You pull this back so it goes in, push it in, and then it should lock up, and then it works.
And what is this?
And then
This hose is hooking
this
it to this
hose-
for what?
It's hooking it to this so that you can like put air in here, VCD. So like if you're sinking, you can press this button to let air in from the tank into here so that you can have like so you can float up a bit more. How do you take it out? But you take it out by pushing this. You can pull this because there's a pocket thing here. So if you pull it, it lets air out here. And then there's also a string here that if you pull, it'll pull this open to let more air out. And then
So why would you want to put air into that thing?
into this
Yeah.
so that you can stay. Like if you're going up to the boat, you would want to put it in to stay afloat. But if you're like sinking to the bottom and you can't stop, like if you're hitting coral and stuff, you'd use it to make yourself naturally buoyant. This tells you how deep you are, so it uses pressure from like outside to tell you how deep you are.
How deep are you now?
The last time it says the
Oh, that's pressure. This is...
yeah, this is where to go. Like if you got lost, this is how you go. Then on the back here, this shows how much air in PSI or pounds per square inch. And usually they say to stop, like go up and at around either 500 to 700 feet, like more PSI so that you don't run out of air. And we got a new tank each time we went on a dive. Then the blue one is for you. And
There's
so,
just
like,
600 in here. So you
yeah, I
can-
know. And so, you open, you pull this. See, you just heard that. Now it'll tell you, hey, you have 600 PSI left. Now, you make sure that this is working by pressing this button. Like if you had to pull it back, you could put it in. You could either blow out, or if it didn't come back, you put your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Press that.
Oh my god.
There, the same thing for this one. And this one, the yellow one, is a little bit longer so that you can use it for your buddy. Like if Jeffrey was my partner and he didn't have any more air, he would take this one and we'd go up to the boat. And then you also make sure that you have air by going like this. And then, I don't know why.
Well, it won't work here because you're not in water.
Yeah, but
If you're in water, holding that button down would squeeze the vest and push all the air out, right?
like it's all out now. I can feel air coming
There you
in
go.
and out. And then this will tell you how deep you are because
We're at 0.
we're at 0. So this other one is to tell you how deep your last dive was,
Because you always
like the
want,
deepest.
you always want
So
your
you always
deepest
want
dive.
your deepest dive first. And so now, when you're done with that, I needed help with this, so you put this on like this.
I think it's less heavy in the water.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Because the
Strap it on like this. Then, use this buckle and this buckle.
There's a lot of cocoa.
Okay.
Do you jump in like this, or do you put it on in the way?
And then,
Usually you put this on before you get in the water.
usually you put your mask on, but yours is right here.
In the bag.
Bag.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
know,
I'll get it.
usually you have a rubber thing on the back of your mask, but I got a special thing. So it has like a dolphin on it.
Ooh, dolphins.
So you put your hair up so that it doesn't leak through your hair. And then you just pull this back. And then you just breathe through this.
Corbett. Look, look it.
And then you just go into the water with your
Take your giant stride. Show them how you do a giant stride into the water. So you're standing on the back of the boat. The boat's wobbling around in the water. And you just step right into the water.
You have to hold your gear so that when you go into the water, your gear doesn't like get messed up and like come off of you. So like,
Wait, did you hold it when it came off? Or
Nope, the dive master did. I was getting my own gear on.
I feel like this, you had it in your mouth, the regulator might come out. Oh, and now you have to get your regulator back. You can't breathe for like 2 seconds.
What do you do when you get out of the when you're in the
So-
water? Here, start taking it off.
Okay.
You step into the water. You go under. You come back up, and what do you first do? First thing you do.
First thing you do is you take off your mask and hand that up.
No. When you're getting in the water.
You're getting in the water. You
You
get in the water.
Just gotten in the
Oh.
water.
Just got in the water. You put
You turn around
first
and
you put like
Nope.
this,
turn around
so
and
you
do
make
what?
sure that you float when you're in the water. Then you make the sign that I'm okay, and then
Start taking-
you go down with your buddy, and you go down and let all the air out, so you sink down.
Wow.
And then you start to dive.
Really?
Then when you get out, you take off your mask first, then your BCD, and then you hand all that stuff up, and then you finally take your fins off.
And everything. Take it all out when you're hanging
the
out
water.
behind the boat, floating around.
wait, how do you take the tank out whenever you're in the water?
You just hand this
No,
whole
you
thing
just
to
hold
them.
the hand the whole
And the
thing.
person on the boat picks the whole thing up and sticks it on the boat for you so you can climb out. Because it would be really hard to climb out of a boat with this stuff on.
With the
Yeah,
water.
Yeah, with the water.
Yeah. Alright.
I have like a billion more questions to answer.
Okay. Imani.
I have actually two things. First thing, what's that little ball right there?
This.
Yeah.
He already said before.
This is like a thing that you can grab, pull, and then it lets air out through your BCD so you can.
And the second thing, do you dispose of the tank? Or do you
No, you reuse it.
They can refill.
Yeah.
There's pop hole.
No. They just open this.
Pop hole.
Oh, here, let me see if I can-
Put tape on it. Oh my god.
But all it is just letting air out.
Oh, at first I was curious if I didn't come to it.
Then you take this out, and you wash everything in fresh water so that all the salt doesn't ruin your gear. Because if you didn't wash your tank, it could make rust in the outside, and then it would be weaker. And
So is that really bad?
yes.
It's a mess.
You'll go back to your seat.
So cool.
Abram,
What happens if you're mad?
then you have to clear it. That's why you use ratchets.
How do you clear it?
What was the question, Lucas?
What
How do you clear water
what have you
Okay, right.
what happens if
Okay. Guys, listen a second. Let the cocaine. Let's quiet.
okay, so take your mask off and stuff. In the pool, we just did like this and put like let water in. Then we did it, put it on the other way. Put it back on. Then you can either go like this, pull out your nose and let water out this way, or you can go like this and make it go down. So your face is like up, and go like this and blow, and it'll let water come back.
So you just tilt your mask and blow, and you're basically filling your mask with air out your nose. Blow with your nose, fill your mask with air, and the air pushes all the water out. If you're really deep, you can't just go straight up. You have to go very slowly,
Or
and
otherwise
you
your
have to
lungs
stop partway through anyways. It's not like in the pool where if you get tired or whatever, you can just go right back up to the surface.
because if you're really down low, the air is pushing on you so hard that your lungs are like compressing more. So if you go up in the same air and you have the same air, your lungs could overexpand. And by the time, if you're like 100 feet deep and you did that, and you went straight up, then your lungs, if they could, your lung would be about that big.
Use a balloon as an example. If you start with a balloon
If you
that's
start with a balloon that's about,
say
don't
a
know
foot
size
say a
balloon.
foot wide, right?
yeah, and you bring it down, it'll compress, so it'll get smaller.
And every time you go 33 feet down, every 33 feet, it'll reduce by half. Okay, so if it's this big at the surface, it'll be about this big 33 feet down. If you go another 33 feet, it's going to be even smaller. So think of your lungs as that balloon. The water's going to try to press on those things, so it takes more and more air pressure to fill those lungs back up to the same volume that you had before.
Hey, you make the whole presentation.
But that also means if you made a balloon about a foot wide and you're 30 feet deep, you're 33 feet deep, and you go up to the surface, the balloon would be 2 feet wide instead of 1 feet wide. Ethan?
So when your mask fogs up, I don't get how you get the water out. If you blow out through your nose, the water, it pushes the air out, and the water comes in. But
Because air wants to go up, right? And water, because air is denser than water. If you blow like this and push on your top, it won't let air out through the bottom. And because the air wants to go up, it'll go up to your mask, and it'll push the water down.
oh, okay.
So you'll
So you
go.
go like this, you get water in, and then do this, you get the water out.
You have to blow it. Well, let's give Lucas a very good There were so many things to know about Cuba. I didn't know that.
It took an hour. I thought you just put on a scuba mask.
So I give
Oh,
you
yeah, I did.
Yeah.